Hello everyone, welcome back. This time we're going to learn how to add items to our list. Now last time we learned how to slice our list. It meant we had a big list, we learned how to grab a small section of that. This time we're going to learn how to add to a small list and make it bigger. Now the first of these is with something called the append function. I'll sometimes call it command, function, works both ways. But the append function, you are appending an item to your list. In this case, what it does is it adds that item to the end of your list, whatever it is. It could be another list, it could be something completely different, but you're adding it to the end of your list. You can only do one item at a time with append, just one item at a time. So if I have this list right here, numbers 1 through 7, and then I append something to it, well then I've added something to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're about to hit a very high level error in concept. When I run this function right here, nothing comes out. Before I've been saying, if you want to save something, you need to put it to a variable. In this case, you don't do that. When I say append something to my list, I'm not creating anything. I'm going and finding an existing list and saying, hey, let's add something to that list over there. So if I run this right here where I have an old list, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to append 5, and you see that I'm trying to set this new list with 5 on it equal to, equal to a variable called newList. So let's see what happens if I would do that. And the answer is that newList doesn't exist. It comes out as none because I set it equal to nothing. It's really hard to explain. Just don't do this. If you have a function that you are calling on something else like this, in many cases that won't actually output anything. Not in all cases, there's actually many cases where it will, but for append, it does not. All it does is it goes off, it says, okay, you told me to go look for old list and add 5 to it. And so this guy right here, he just disappears. He runs off, he finds old list, he adds 5 to it, and new list is still looking around. He's like, where did everybody go? I'm supposed to be equal to something, but nobody's there because old list ran off, because this append function ran off to find old list somewhere else. That's somewhat explained here. That's not something you really have to think about too much in this class. It shouldn't be an issue you run into all that often. However, I do foresee some of you making this mistake, so remember it. You don't call set this equal to anything. You just append it, and if you want to, you can set it equal to something afterwards. But you have to append by itself on the line. And also, this still works though. I mean, like this is still functioning. This guy just doesn't get anything when you do it. Okay. So, don't put the append command to the right of an equal sign. Never do it. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to add the words listen, blister, and calisthenics to the list named listception. We're going to print listception after you add each word. And remember, we can only add one word at a time. Okay, so listception dot append listen, and then listception print listception. Okay, now I'm going to copy pasta this twice more so that I can have a little bit of easier time with it. And just change the word. So I have blister. Hopefully you notice the common theme in all these words. And calisthenics. There we go. Okay, now if I print all these, boop, and you see that it adds one item at a time, and the original items all remain unchanged. Okay, so this is append, adding one item at a time. It has a use. It's very helpful. Because many times you don't know how many items you need in your list, and so you're just going to build it as you go. If you do know how many items you need in your list, you usually make a blank list that is that long. It has a bunch of zeros in it or ones, and then you just overwrite them. But that's a question for another time. Okay, I'm going to stop here because next time we're going to be jumping into the extend command. So, we'll do that next time. Hope this helped you. Remember, we learned about append. It adds one item at a time, and it's never to the right of an equal sign. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.